The German ambassador to Moscow was called to the Russian Foreign Ministry on Monday, a choreographed expression of Kremlin anger. It all started on Friday, when Russia's state-controlled television aired a call between senior Bundeswehr military officials, including Air Force Chief Ingo Gerhards. They were discussing sending Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine and what targets they might be used to destroy.
Ich gerne noch mal schnell ergänzen wegen der Brücke, weil wir die uns intensiv angeguckt haben. Und die Brücke ist leider aufgrund ihrer Größe wie ein Flugplatz. Das heißt, es kann durchaus sein, dass ich dafür 10 oder 20 Flugkörper brauche.
Wir wissen ja, dass sie die Brücke rausnehmen wollen. Das ist klar, wissen wir auch, was das am Ende bedeutet. Dann ist die Versorgung dieser so wichtig, nicht nur militärisch strategisch wichtig, auch so ein bisschen politisch ist die gute Insel da ja ihr Herzstück.
Mehr als nur das Abhören und Veröffentlichen eines Gesprächs im Bereich der Luftwaffe. Es ist Teil eines Informationskrieges, den Putin führt, daran gibt es gar keinen Zweifel. Es handelt sich um einen hybriden Angriff zur Desinformation, es geht um Spaltung, es geht darum, unsere Geschlossenheit zu untergraben. Und dementsprechend sollten wir besonders besonnen darauf reagieren, aber nicht weniger entschlossen.
Brainstorming how to blow up a bridge. We're just brainstorming how to blow up a bridge, you know. It happens every day.
Absolutely. Quite, yeah. That's the sort of thing the German generals do, of course. They actually, you know, they go and telephone someone in Singapore and have, you know, we're all talking about how to blow up Kerch Bridge. So, you know, let's call someone in Singapore to do it. I mean, you know, it's
what
ridiculous.
are your thoughts? You know, I mean,
Pistorius.
It's ridiculous.
What are your thoughts about how to do this? I mean, as I said, Pistorius is, as I said, it was one of the most mendacious statements I have ever seen come from a political leader, and I've seen a lot in my time.
This isn't Ukrainians talking about taking down the Crimea Bridge. This is the Germans doing targeting of a Russian critical piece of Russian infrastructure. The Germans would have to put guys on the ground to do the same thing that the British and the French are doing on the ground, to serve as that middleman to get all the data loaded in, up running. You'd need a German team on the ground, and there's not supposed to be German troops on the ground there, so they don't want to have German troops on the ground.
The big controversy in Germany that the government is directing the media towards is not to discuss at all the content of the conversations, or the fact that Germany was planning to effectively declare war on Russia with these attacks, even if they hoped to maintain plausible deniability while doing so, working through a Ukrainian proxy. But the German government wants the conversation instead focused on how did Russia get a hold of the conversation. Don't be concerned at all with the contents of it, but focus on how the dastardly Russian spies or whatever got a hold. And the answer to that one actually seems extremely simple: German incompetence, German military incompetence. They were having this conversation over an unsecured internet platform, a lot like Zoom or StreamYard, I assume, called WebEx.
It's embarrassing for German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, both for the security lapse and his ongoing refusal to send the missiles.
What is being reported there is a very serious matter, and that is why it is now being investigated very carefully, very intensively, and very quickly.
Here we have a situation where the Chancellor, who's the highest civilian executive of Germany, has said he doesn't support sending Taurus missiles to Ukraine. No Taurus to Ukraine. So why do you have German officers who clearly state that they're acting with the knowledge of the defense minister, plotting an attack on the Crimea Bridge using the Taurus missile?
It's quite clear that Olaf Scholz is on his way out, and that his defense minister, Boris Pistorius, who we've been hearing an awful lot from over the last couple of hours, is intriguing to take his job place and is making decisions behind his back.
Germany has no business planning an attack against Russian infrastructure. That's an act of aggression. That's a war of aggression.
On Monday, the Kremlin was only too happy to exploit its intelligence coup. The record itself suggests that within the Bundeswehr, plans for striking the territory of the Russian Federation are being discussed substantively and specifically. This does not require any legal interpretation. Everything here is more than obvious.
But I mean, this is obviously a huge thing. It reveals what a lot of Russian analysts, have long been saying, that Western troops are being used directly on the ground to operate these weapon systems, which means they are at war with Russia. I mean, that is an undeclared war with Russia.